Welcome to Too Close to Home, the video series in which we dig up creepy, mysterious, and unexplained stories from our Patreons' hometowns. Are you curious about the eerie events that may have happened in your hometown? If so, you'll want to join our Too Close to Home video tier. While our team of talented researchers will dig up haunted tales, creepy encounters, UFO sightings, and true crime events within a 20+ mile radius of your area. Once we gather all the information, we'll then narrate the findings in a Too Close to Home video, giving you the chance to explore the darker side of your town. So why wait? Join the Too Close to Home video tier membership and delve into the chilling history of your own backyard. In this episode, we'll be looking at the hometowns of Kelley, Renaat, Alexander, Andrew, and Lorna. You 5 lucky folks are in for some truly mind-blowing stories, now to be heard by the rest of the world. If you haven't already done so, this is a personal request to all 5 of you to hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. Kelley, Winter, Wisconsin. Our first tale takes us to the northwoods of the United States, in a small town called Winter, Wisconsin, a place that our much valued Patreon Kelley calls home. A few miles southwest of Winter, there is a ski town and winter wonderland located at the base of Christie Mountain, and on this mountain there is the legend of the Blue Hills Beast. In a bygone era, when time was shrouded in mystery, a malevolent presence known only as the Beast roamed the land, while it shared kinship with the notorious Bigfoot and abominable snowman. The Beast remained an elusive and obscure entity, yet the Beast cared little for fame or recognition, for it relished in a unique delight that set it apart from its cryptid counterparts, the art of skiing. Across the ages, the Beast toiled relentlessly, weaving its malevolent intentions into the very fabric of a desolate snow-laden expanse. In the heart of the Wisconsin Northwoods, it carved a ski utopia that would come to be known as the Blue Hills, a name that concealed the unspeakable horror that lay beneath its slopes. And then, as mysteriously as the vanishing of the dinosaurs, the Beast's weariness enveloped it like a sinister shroud. In a hidden cavern deep within the mountains it had sculpted, the Beast succumbed to slumber. Forgotten and forsaken, the Beast lay dormant, its wicked dreams festering in the frigid void. Eons swept by in an eerie, timeless dance, but then, as if summoned by dark forces, a new spirit descended upon the Blue Hills. The air crackled with a sinister energy, and the Beast stirred from its torpid repose. A malign presence had been awakened. Families ventured into the lair of the Beast, unwittingly unveiling the eldritch secret it had woven into the very slopes. An unholy sanctuary awaited them, a ski domain where joy masked a hidden malevolence. Treacherous trails to ignite the darkest desires, serpentine paths to lead astray, and deceitful corners to shatter one's resolve. Springwater snow, teeming with an otherworldly bounce, concealed an ever-expanding snow cave of unfathomable horrors, emerging annually near the sinister chalet. The laughter and mirth that now echoed through the once desolate Blue Hills masked a deeper, unsettling truth. The Beast had been awakened, and it was revealed in the misfortune of those who dared to venture into its inescapable grasp. Our second tale takes us elsewhere in Sawyer County in Windigo Lake, a body of water with unsettling origins near Winter, Wisconsin. Habak, a local researcher, believes that the name is linked to the lake's high mercury concentration, causing health issues for those who consumed its water or fish in ancient times. Furthermore, a Native American legend, as shared by an Ojibwe elder named James Pipe Mustache, provides an alternative explanation for the name. The legend tells the story of a man who turned into a Wendigo, a giant mythical creature associated with cannibalism, after an act of gluttony and violence. The lake might be named after this man who lived in the 1700s. Although cannibalism was not common among Native American tribes, there was a belief that consuming a part of a fallen enemy's flesh or heart conveyed their bravery or spirit. Today, there are sightings of Wendigo witches spilling out from Wendigo Lake, and all the way to the Shawamagan Forest, We'd love to know, Kelley, if you've ever been to Christie Mountain and spotted the Blue Hills Beast, or taken a visit to the lake in search of a Wendigo. If we are ever in your area, we'd love to check out these two locations ourselves. Renaat, Opitter, Belgium. Our second case takes us to the small village of Opitter in Belgium, a suburb of the city Brie, where our patron Renaat lives. From here we venture just 30 kilometers to the south, in the thick woodlands of the Belgian countryside. Hidden amidst the eerie embrace of an eastern Belgian forest lies the enigmatic cemetery of the insane, a somber testament to a bygone era when society cruelly cast aside those suffering from psychiatric afflictions. This melancholic resting place, once tethered to a psychiatric asylum, conceals tales of thousands of souls who found themselves entangled in a sinister web of neglect and abandonment. As you venture through the tranquil, shadowed walkway, a canopy of towering pine trees bestows a ghostly calm upon this haunting enclave. Nearby, a spectral castle stands as a sinister sentinel, its halls once echoing with the tormented whispers of men condemned to this twisted institution in the bleak 1920s. In an age where understanding and empathy for mental disorders were as elusive as the mist shrouding this cemetery, the afflicted found themselves exiled from society's embrace. Locked away out of sight and out of mind, these unfortunate souls were left, bereft of family ties, forever severed from the world outside. Once committed to the asylum, the vast majority were condemned to spend their days within its suffocating walls, never to escape the clutches of despair. When death inevitably descended upon them, it was the hospital's cold, callous hands that undertook the somber task of final arrangements. In the shadow of these oppressive times, approximately 1,700 patients breathed their last breath within the hospital's confines during its decades-long operation, spanning from the 1920s to the 1980s. Their unmarked graves, like secrets buried deep within the earth, now populate the cemetery of the insane. As you tread the main walkway, flanked by rows of solemn pine trees, a chilling tranquility will embrace you, even in the heat of a summer's afternoon. The graves themselves vary in their simplicity, with most bearing stark, cast concrete crosses, reinforced with hidden metal rods. Some, however, bear metal crucifixes, offering a touch more ornamentation to the otherwise stark landscape. Organized meticulously in orderly rows, the crosses trace the footsteps of those who never found their way back to the world they left behind. The cemetery of the insane's pathways are marked by black metal plaques, each bearing the name, date of birth, and date of death of the soul it commemorates. It is a stark and somber testament to the lives lost and forgotten, a record of human suffering. As we wander through this chilling forest of memories, we encounter an eerie enigma, one empty plot of graves, standing in eerie silence amidst the occupied ones. A question lingers: is it a relic of the hospital's closure, a stark reminder that even in death, the forsaken souls remain untouched by kin or companionship? The forest will give you no answers, leaving us to contemplate the mysteries and sorrows that dwell within the cemetery of the insane. Renaat, I wonder if you've ever taken the 30-kilometer trip south to visit this cemetery. If we lived close, we'd certainly be taking a trip there. Alexander, Gothenburg, Sweden. Our third terrifying tale takes us to another part of Europe, this time to the streets of Gothenburg, Sweden, and its resounding folklore of witches and ghostly spectres. A place that is our much valued patron, Alexander's hometown. In the second largest city of Sweden, you'll hear about the story of the Black Lady of Gothenburg. The legend goes back to the 19th century, when a young woman discovered she was pregnant. Because it was illegitimate and out of wedlock, the woman was disgraced by the public and looked down upon like an outcast. A few weeks later, the baby was found dead. Many Gothenburg townsfolk believed it had been smothered by its mother, who was so overcome with guilt and shame, she killed the child to avoid the embarrassment of being shunned by society. Unfortunately, the woman only made the situation worse for herself. Instead of guilt from an illegitimate pregnancy, the woman now had tremendous guilt for supposedly murdering her child. While the city of Gothenburg never found any concrete evidence of the child killing, the woman couldn't bear the humiliation and ultimately committed suicide. After her death, the spirit of said woman would be known henceforth as the Black Lady of Gothenburg. Sightings of this spectre have popped up all across the Swedish city, with the Ovras mansion playing host to a female spirit clad in black garments. The Black Lady has also been a common haunt in the local forests and woodlands surrounding Gothenburg. One woman's close encounter with this woman of the dead was captured in 2022, albeit unknowingly at the time. Ellen Bergstein, a Gothenburg citizen who was taking a shortcut through the woods, recording her frustrating trek when she captured a horrific glimpse of a black figure peeking out from behind a tree. Take a look. According to Ellen, she did not see this ghostly figure when she initially walked by, and was horrified when she looked back at the footage and saw the demonic apparition. Could it be the Black Lady of Gothenburg, or is something else haunting the backwoods of Sweden? Other creepy tales from Gothenburg include the ghosts of Gamla Alvsborg fastings. These poltergeists played tricks on guests brave enough to tour the old execution grounds of the cemetery's old castle. Some have said to hear the ethereal screams of spirits stuck in limbo between the living and the dead, having perished in the gallows eons ago. Another haunted locale is Kronhuset, the resting place of Gothenburg's oldest cemetery. The mass gravesite isn't visible to the naked eye, however, as it was covered up by the cobblestones spread throughout the area. However, the streets are supposedly littered with cold spots, and some locals supposedly avoid walking by at midnight. If that's not creepy enough for you, Alexander, then one of Gothenburg's oldest structures, Gothenhalmska huset. Now apologies if we mispronounced that, but this place is pretty creepy. It's said to play host to a ghost rider on horseback. The legend goes the equestrian spectre still roams the grounds at night, scaring off visitors with its fire-breathing horse. Sounds pretty insane. We'd love to know if you visited any of these places, Alexander, and experienced anything strange at them. Andrew, Tallahassee, Florida. Our fourth haunting returns us to the United States, all the way to the capital of Florida, a sprawling city called Tallahassee. Tallahassee is a college town and major metropolis of Florida's panhandle, and is no stranger to the frightening folklore found across America's south, and our Patreon Andrew is lucky enough to live there. Behold the eerie tale of the Oakland Cemetery in Tallahassee, a place where paranormal mysteries weave through the very fabric of history. As you approach the cemetery on Brevet Street, you can't miss the imposing Phillips Mausoleum. Its onion-domed silhouette looms atop the southern hill, casting a shadow of the unknown across the land. While time has not been kind to the Phillips tomb, its architectural eccentricity still captures the imagination. A blend of styles, Greek rival, Japanese, Eastern European, creates an otherworldly fusion. One local scholar, Jonathan Lammers, aptly described it as having a really freakish Freemason US currency engraving feel. This crypt, shrouded in the early 20th century by the hands of Tallahassee's own eccentric Calvin C. Phillips, offers a unique story. An architect known for crafting structures showcased at the 1877 Paris Expo, Phillips had a penchant for the peculiar. He was also the mastermind behind the eerie old clock tower that once stood as a relic in the All Saints neighborhood. But it's the tale of Phillips's personal involvement in the mausoleum that truly sends shivers down the spine. As the legend goes, one day while toiling within its walls, he decided to take a nap upon the wooden bier. An unsuspecting passerby stumbled upon the scene, believing Phillips to be lifeless. However, Phillips jolted upright, proclaiming, "I'm just making sure it fits." Another chilling tale insists that Phillips met his end within the very tomb he crafted. But before succumbing to the embrace of death, he entrusted a close friend with a key to lock him inside from the outside, sealing his fate in a macabre fashion. Visitors brave enough to approach the Phillips mausoleum have recounted experiencing inexplicable cold spots, a reminder of the architect's lingering presence. In a nearby apartment, a resident shared a spine-tingling account of a ghostly visitor entering her bedroom, sitting on her bed and gently petting her beloved cat. But the most perplexing twist in this spectral saga emerged in April 2000, when vandals breached the crypt, absconding with the architect's very skull. The case remains unsolved, leaving a perplexing enigma that continues to haunt Tallahassee to this day. 2 additional haunts include Valder Mound Park and the Columns. Venture to Valder Mound Park, a hallowed archaeological relic, nestled in the north of Tallahassee. Many years ago, it was inhabited by the enigmatic Fort Walton culture. Now it's a cherished local attraction that harbours strange stories. Native American spirits are said to gather around a spectral fire, and under the moon's watchful gaze, a ghostly white wolf stalks the night, its howl sending shivers through the stillness. In the heart of Tallahassee, on Duval Street near West Park Avenue, you'll encounter the Columns, an antebellum home originally crafted for Benjamin Chairs, a notable planter and banker from the 1800s. Today, it serves as the abode of the James Madison Institute. But beware, for the Columns holds secrets in its time-worn walls. Many who've passed through it report ethereal visitations on the main floor, and some claim to have witnessed a ghostly lady strolling right into the fireplace under the cover of the witching hour. We'd love to know, Andrew, if you've visited any of these places and have any of your own strange stories to share. If not, we'd love for you to take a visit to any of the ones we've mentioned and report back to us. Lorna, Halewood, Liverpool. Our 5th and final tale takes us back across the pond one last time, to a city parish near the suburbs of Liverpool called Halewood, in the United Kingdom. Halewood is a town in the metropolitan borough of Knowsley, and is called home by nearly 30,000 residents, and one of those is our valued Patreon Lorna. Halewood is surrounded by local ghost stories and sightings, ranging from noble spectres to ghoulish fiends. One such haunted house is in Speke, the southernmost suburb of Liverpool, found just 8 kilometres south of Halewood. Here, a 16th century half-timbered house stands, nestled within the embrace of a manor dating back to the 12th century. But this isn't just a place of history, it's a haven for the supernatural. Behold Speke Hall, a residence that harbours a unique collection of spectral visitors, among them a spectral white lady, a Victorian gardener who materialises like a mist, a ghostly priest hailing from the Cromwellian era, a sturdy phantom priest from the 1930s, and even a creature resembling a werewolf. Yet the crown jewel of this historic hall is the enigmatic Cavalier. This dashing figure has confounded historians, his identity shrouded in mystery. During the 1950s, while craftsmen were restoring a loft within the hall, they came face to face with a Cavalier, who could have easily been mistaken for one of the 3 musketeers. Grinning mischievously, he leaned against a beam and casually handed a hammer to one of the workers, who promptly fell through a hatchway, paralysed by terror. In the early 1970s, a 13-year-old lad from Halewood, named Charlie Williams, pedalled his chopper to Speke Hall and found an unusual companion in the courtyard. A peculiar character, Mr. Popjoy, dressed like the laughing Cavalier, caught Charlie's attention. They forged an unexpected friendship, and Mr. Popjoy even shared the art of sword fencing with the young boy. However, the truth proved stranger than fiction when the eccentric companion revealed I'd been dead for years. In a hurry, Charlie pedalled away on his bike, leaving behind the mysteries of Speke Hall. You can book tickets to visit this place, Lorna. It's even part of the National Trust. If we're in the area, we'll definitely check this one out. And we'd love to know if you've ever visited and experienced anything strange there. It would appear they even have a pumpkin patch there, which would be perfect for Halloween. We'll take a trip just 6 kilometers east of Halewood, where lies Bloody Acre. Nestled beside All Saints Church, a venerable relic, on Score Lane in Childwall lurks the enigmatic Bloody Acre, a place that vexes historians and intrigues seekers of the supernatural. Why it bears the name Bloody Acre remains shrouded in mystery, as no battle of bloody conflict has ever stained its soil. Yet a shadowy pact from Liverpool's distant past ensures it remains an untouched realm, lest a dreadful curse befall those who dare disturb it. Whispers abound of spectral apparitions, ethereal corpses, candles casting their eerie glow, and mischievous black goblins who occasionally trespass our reality, not to forget the ominous presence known as the Angel of Death, a shrouded figure emerging from the acre's depths, a harbinger of impending war. But heed this warning, Bloody Acre is no place for the faint-hearted. It beckons only the most seasoned ghost hunters, tempting them into its dark embrace. But if that isn't creepy enough, then just another 5.5 kilometers east of Halewood is 251 Menlove Avenue, the childhood home of John Lennon. In recent times, global Beatles enthusiasts have shared spine-tingling tales of John Lennon's spectral presence at his boyhood dwelling on Menlove Avenue in Halewood, UK. Mendips, a quaint 1930s semi-detached house, was where the legendary Beatle found his roots from the age of 5, until his meteoric rise to fame at 22 in 1963. It was a place with no known otherworldly vibes, yet when the interior was meticulously restored to its 1950s glory, rumours began to swirl about Lennon's ghost, often sporting his iconic white suit, strolling through his old abode. A devoted fan who braved the ghostly hours of night claimed to have captured the ethereal figure at a bedroom window using a night vision camera. The haunting saga of 251 Menlove lives on, where Lennon's spirit supposedly seems to harmonise with his former childhood home. We hope you enjoyed those, Lorna, and we'd love to know if you visited any of these places. And if you do visit Speak Hall this year, please let us know if you experience anything strange there. So that's it for this episode of Too Close to Home. We'd like to say a massive thank you to Kelley, Renaat, Alexander, Andrew and Lorna. We hope you enjoyed finding out about strange and creepy tales within your hometown. Remember everyone, if you'd like to know what's lurking on your doorstep, head on over to Patreon for more information. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.